The first sign was the silence. In the heavenly realms, where the Orishas dwelt beyond time, the rivers of Òṣun had always sung. They laughed over smooth stones, whispered secrets to the wind, and shimmered with a gold so warm it softened even the hardest divine heart. But on that day, the waters lay still. No laughter, no song, only a dull, colorless flow like memory fading from the world. Òṣun stood at the river bank, her bare feet touching water that no longer recognized her. The gold bracelets at her wrists felt heavier than before. She knelt, cupped the river in her palms, and watched it slip through her fingers like something already lost. She whispered, "They have forgotten." Above her, the sky darkened, not with storm, but with unease. The summons came soon after. The council of the Orishas had not gathered like this in generations. Thunder rolled as Shango took his seat, lightning coiled at his shoulders. Obatala, robed in white, leaned on his staff, his face troubled. Yemoja arrived in waves that sighed with grief, while Ogun's iron footsteps rang heavy across the sacred floor. Even Eshu, ever smiling at the edges of chaos, stood unusually still. At the center of the council circle, Òṣun rose. Her beauty had not faded, but something else had. The glow that once followed her movements like sunlight on water flickered uncertainly, as if unsure it was welcome anymore. "The world is changing," she said, her voice steady but edged with sorrow, "and not for the better." The Orishas listened. "Humans no longer come to my rivers with open hearts," Òṣun continued. "They come to take. They love to possess, not to care. They desire without devotion. They consume without gratitude." A murmur rippled through the council. "Love is not gone," Shango thundered. "It has nearly changed." Òṣun turned to him, eyes sharp as cut crystal. "No, brother. Love has been replaced." She raised her hand and visions bloomed in the air. Homes where voices were loud but hearts were distant. Lovers who touched but never truly saw each other. Families bound by blood yet hollow of kindness. Promises broken not by necessity but by convenience. "Greed wears the mask of love now," Òṣun said softly, "and humanity believes the disguise." Yemoja's waters stirred. "If love fades," she said, "what happens to us?" Òṣun's gaze dropped to the council floor. "Then our power fades with it." Silence followed, heavy, dangerous silence. Obatala spoke at last. "We can remind them, send signs, command reverence." Òṣun shook her head. "Love does not obey commands." Eshu's lips curled into a knowing smile. "She speaks truth. What is forced rots faster." The council debated long into the timeless hours. Some argued for punishment, others for withdrawal. A few suggested abandoning the human world altogether and letting it collapse under its own emptiness. Finally, a conclusion formed, quiet, fearful, inevitable. Love could not be ordered. It could only be shown. Òṣun closed her eyes. "I will give them my last gift." Every head turned. "You cannot mean," Yemoja began. "I do," Òṣun said. "If they have forgotten how to love, then love itself must walk among them again." A hush fell. "The Ibeji," Òṣun continued, "twin souls, one essence divided into flesh, a boy and a girl. They will be born human, fragile, flawed, free to fail." Obatala's grip tightened on his staff. "You would bind divine power to human choice?" "Yes," Òṣun replied, because love that is guaranteed means nothing. Ṣàngó stood, and if they fail, Òṣun met his gaze without fear. Then the rivers will fall silent forever. The weight of her words settled like ash. They will not know who they are, Òṣun said. They will be born to different parents, different lives, different pains. Greed will test one, sacrifice will shape the other. They will suffer betrayal. They will doubt love itself. And yet, Èṣù mannered, they must find each other. They must choose each other, Òṣun corrected, not because destiny demands it, but because love still matters. The council hesitated. To place the fate of gods in the hands of humans was unthinkable, but doing nothing was worse. At last, Ọbàtálá bowed his head. So be it. The decision echoed across heaven and earth. That night, Òṣun returned to her river. She stepped into the water, and for the briefest moment, it glowed again, bright, aching, alive. She pressed her palms to her belly, and divine light gathered there, splitting gently, painfully into two. Far below, in the human world, two cries rang out at the same instant. One in a house filled with celebration, one in a room heavy with worry. Two lives began, two hearts beat apart. And as Òṣun watched the light leave her waters, she whispered a prayer no god had ever dared to speak before. Please remember how to love. Behind her, the river went completely still.